Hello, Bachi Nation. Welcome to the BBN's pre-tournament show for the ABC premiere in Lake Orion, Michigan at Palazzo di Bachi. I'm Alex Guerra, and with me today is Milan Tomic, and we are featuring the two-person tournament, high-stakes implications. BBN will be there both Friday, May 16th and Saturday, May 17th, covering all the action. Milan, how excited are you for this one?
I'm very excited, Alex, for a multitude of reasons. One, I'm get to play, so always a good time. Two, there's going to be a lot of bocce to play, which is always a good thing. And three, we have a collection of some of the most talented and decorated players across the country and some players coming in from across the pond. So I'm very excited to just see some new styles of play maybe, learn a few things or two, and hopefully compete.
We'll get into the format and the rosters in just a bit, but I want to start with profiling Palazzo di Bachi. This is the Palace of Bachi, and it's very much a palace. First time I walked in there, it felt like if Disney World or Epcot Center were to, build a bocce world. Absolutely gorgeous, 10 competition-level courts, one of the nicest facilities, not just the country, but in the entire world. We're going to be back there. This is, I guess, the fourth tournament that ABC has ran at Palazzo Bachi, and we're just really thrilled to be working with our friends there again. What do you think, Milan?
Yeah, I remember the first time I went there and just kind of like you had this feeling like, oh, this is bocce. Mm-hmm. It's such a wonderful facility, and they've really cultivated. I feel like they capture the essence of everything it is about bocce. The community aspect of it, the social aspect, and the competitive aspect, it's all there in such a nice facility. I know for a lot of Chicago players, it's probably one of the first times they've ever been to a place like that ever. We do have Highwood, but I know just for traveling people, when they're newer players, everyone has kind of that same gasp reaction.
Jaw-dropping.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, this exists.
Yeah.
Everywhere that I go, basically people just go like, what would it take for us to have one of this?
Right.
And it's a lot of work.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
This is the 20-year anniversary of Palazzo Bachi as well. So 20 years they've been hosting.
Congratulations.
National and international tournaments in the last 4 years or 3.5, working with American Bocce on those. As most of you know, Milan and I aren't just bocce broadcasters, but we're also part of American Bocce, and we're serving this mission to grow the game nationally. That has brought the partnership with Palazzo to fruition. Again, as I just mentioned, we've done several tournaments there in the past, the ABC Open being sort of this marquee event we do annually, and that's led to this first ever two-person high-stakes tournament that we're doing at Palazzo. This is thanks in large part to the community. Oakland County, the Oakland County Commissioner's Office have done a ton to support this. And both ABC, BBN, the Battaglia family, who run and own Palazzo di Bachi, and the Oakland County Commissioners, all of these folks all want to see this as a staple key event for the sport, for the city, and it's getting there. It absolutely is. With this tournament in particular, we look to draw some international support. We're looking at a field now of over 40 teams. Some of those are hailing from across the ponds. We have Malta, we have Turkey, we have Austria, and then, of course, we've got a lot of Canadian teams, Montreal and Toronto in the mix, and about a dozen states from California to New York, coast to coast. Exciting field.
Yeah, this is some very good representation for a tournament. You get the feeling for, I'm not familiar with a lot of the foreign teams, but you know that people aren't traveling for fun.
Some of them,
maybe fun, but I have a feeling we're going to see some excellent players coming up.
It's fun to be excellent.
Let me know.
Yeah, the process was tough in recruiting international players. To be transparent, it's really, really hard.
Yeah, how'd you guys go about that?
We made a video and we subtitled it in different languages, and we sent it to different countries. The biggest hurdle, of course, is travel costs and logistics. And this is the first ever event, so there isn't anything for a lot of international players. They've not played open bocce before, or if they have, maybe not open bocce with stakes like this, $12,000 first place prize. So this is new, and it's going to grow and continue to grow. And what I'm really excited about with the BBN is that I think we get a chance to feature this tournament, and we'll get eyes on it. You know, we call ourselves America's home for bocce, but next week we're going to be the world's home for bocce.
Yeah, I agree.
And so with the support of the BBN and hopefully a really well-ran, amazing tournament, we'll get more international support, and we'll turn this into a flagship event for the sport.
Yep. I think our hope for everyone involved in this tournament is to get eyes on the sport. That's what the mission has been since you started ABC. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of the BBN. Mm-hmm. And thank you to Palazzo and everyone for giving us this opportunity to use their beautiful facility because I don't know how else better you could sell bocce than by showing it there.
Exactly. Yeah. When you're watching this weekend, you know, take a look behind the players and the action and just see how breathtaking this venue is.
It's a nice.
So let's talk format.
Let's.
On Friday, we're going to do group play. 8 groups, about 5 teams per group. So you'll do a round robin. It's about 4 games, or it should be 4 games for all of the groups. The top 3 of those 5 teams will advance to a double elimination bracket on Saturday. We all know how a double elim bracket works. That'll probably start around 9 in the morning and go till 7 p.m.-ish. The bottom 2 teams are not fully out yet. They're going to enter a single elimination silver bracket. And we will crown a first and second place in the silver bracket. And, you know, all things considered, it's pretty good cash. $1,500 for first place in the second chance. Whereas it's $12,000 for first place in the gold, which is big money.
$1,500 for the consolation bracket winner?
Yeah.
That's more than most tournaments.
For a duo, right? Yeah, $750 each.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And just awesome that there's just you're not out.
Right. And I think I think there are some teams in this that don't plan on winning. And they're thinking, I want to have the experience. I want to meet some folks from different cities and organizations and, you know, possibly even countries. And I want to, you know, soak up this experience, but I'm probably not going to win this tournament. That's where the second chance comes in. And, you know, we thought, let's make it worthwhile.
Yeah. I'm not one of those teams. I plan on winning the whole thing.
I don't know what I plan on. As the organizer of the event, I often don't play my best when I'm.
Do you find that hard?
Oh God, it's so hard.
Right? Because you're just mentally all over.
Yeah, I'm fine if everything's running smooth, but like, you know, the minute that we're behind or I'm watching a game that's 45 minutes over, whatever.
There's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have the same issue when I'm broadcasting, and then someone's
like,
"You're up right now."
Right.
Oh, okay. Someone come take this.
Yeah, which is usually me.
Yeah.
So, in picking these groups,
there's a good segue into that. So, groups were drawn randomly, sort of. So what we tried to do here, what Alex and ABC have done, is they split up the teams from regions to do our best to make sure that teams from the same town didn't face off in the same group. No one wants to travel 1,000 miles and face the person you see on league night on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. So we broke it up into sort of regions. So Chicagoland, Michigan, Palazzo area, Canada, USA International, so California, New York, and so on, and then obviously our international players. And what we did with these teams is we put them into separate pools, and then those were randomly drawn from each one. So, and I think we did about as good a job as you can do to make sure that there's not more than 2 teams from the same region in one group. And for the most part, it's pretty scattered in each group.
Pretty well spread out. And just to clarify, that the international pod is not just international players, but players that have represented the USA in international play. So take a team like Jose and Jason. You know, yes, they are from Michigan, but they're not in the Michigan category. They're in the USA International category because what we've done is we've pulled out essentially the 8 most decorated teams by in sort of imaginary international standard, but we're pretty confident on those parameters, and they were in their own pod, randomly chosen. And without further ado, we are going to announce where you and your team have fallen, which groups you're in, who you have to compete against, and you can start game planning and strategizing now.
Yeah.
Because it's time
Let the
to
stress
unveil
begin.
the groups.
This is the part you all fast forwarded to, so let's get to it.
All right.
All right. And ready.
And we're going to start with Group A. Group A, as you see, we've got Vito and Robert from Highwood. We've got Sal and Ryan from Palazzo. Rocco and Francesco from Toronto. We have Emi Fuji and Mark Wolf from California. And then we've got Jose and Jason representing Palazzo. Rapid reaction?
Rapid reaction. I'm probably going to say this about every group, but tough group right off the bat. I think for anyone who's playing in this, probably doesn't want to see Jose and Jason on their home courts.
Yeah, even the international teams down the line will not want to see Jose.
I don't think anyone. But if you're like me, I would want to see them.
Right.
So,
yeah, and Robin and Vito,
runners-up of the ABC Open, so they have had great success on this court. I know Rocco and Francesco are excellent players. Sal, Ryan, this is going to be a fun group to watch.
Tough group out of the
very
gate.
tough.
All right, let's take a look at Group B. Group B, we've got Tim and Todd from Highwood. We've got Jesse Morrison, a player to be determined from Chicago. Max and John Hartman, father and son team from Palazzo. We've got Alfie and Peter from Ontario. And then we have an Austrian team, which is Gunther and Andrea, a mixed doubles team who have medaled in international competition before.
Wow. All right, so that's probably another team you don't want to see if they're coming all the way from Austria. Tim and Todd, very good players at Highwood. I think Todd knocked you out of the club championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Todd's excellent.
Right. I think this is his first tournament outside of Highwood, Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of you will be meeting Todd for the first time next weekend, and he's an impressive young player who I don't think the moment will be too big for.
I don't think so either. Alfie was a fan favorite from when we did the stream up in Canada.
Yeah, the PRV singles.
So the fan favorite's coming back. Another good group. I really like Tim and Todd in this one, and obviously the Austria team probably going to be a problem for most people.
Yeah, I expect them to advance. Let's look at Group C. Out of the gate, we've got Anthony and Julian from Chicago, Elmwood Park, Highwood, all of the above. We've got Sean and Josh from Palazzo, Albert and Guarino from Montreal. We've got Derek Anzalone and Anthony Martocci from both Wisconsin and Elmwood Park. And then we have a Malta team, David and Rennie Ferrugia. These are brothers from Malta. And I know David has been to Palazzo for an international competition before. I'm not sure about Rennie.
Oh, again. All right, so they're coming all the way from Malta. Probably good. Fun fact, the Maltese cross for firefighting, because that's what I do for a living, comes from them. That's where firefighting was invented.
Really?
On the Isle of Malta.
Fascinating. Maybe you can talk.
If you're watching this, bring me something from there. I will pay you.
I think I think they went to Toronto first, so I think they're already in Toronto when they see this.
Oh.
Maybe not. I don't know. What day is it? I don't know.
Read into the future. Another. They're all stacked. It's all good. I've emailed back and forth with Albert. Sorry, I never made it to that tournament. I promise you we will. Just right off the bat, though, again, the team from Malta, and then Anthony seems to always be in the conversation of in the finals or semifinals.
Yeah,
so
that'll be good. And I like, you're a big Julian fan. Looking forward, and they obviously won the ABC Open together. So
no success on these courts.
Exactly.
And then Albert and Guarino.
Yeah. They had that.
I know of them.
They had that fun little hybrid team with Natale last year at the ABC Open.
That's right. So,
I mean, no easy outs there whatsoever. Let's look at Group D. Group D, we're kicking off with myself, Alex Guerra, and Andy Z.
Pushovers.
We've got Dennis and Mike from Da Vinci Bocce, local to Palazzo. We have Guido and Tony from Ontario. And we have Jeff O'Hare and Frank Carino from New York. And then we have another international mixed doubles team. That's Bahar and Oguzhan from Turkey. What do you think? Do I got a chance?
No chance at all. No, another good group. Not too familiar with the Ontario team. I know Jeff O'Hare, probably at that Toronto tournament, second best player there that day after Jose. And then obviously, again, a team coming from Turkey. No one travels this far to not compete.
Yeah, and I believe this is a younger team who has succeeded on many a level. But these are younger folks from Turkey, from what I understand.
All right.
Okay, Group E. Looking at Group E, we've got Drew Kleinmeyer and Chris Prokop, ABC players here in Chicago. Ricardo and Enrique playing for Fran's team. Fran is not on Fran's team.
Hey.
A little confusing. We'll see her later.
Fran.
John Lopez and Ben Campbell from California. We've got the BBN team, Michael and his pops, Lou Sheldon. And we have Leo and Miles from Highwood. Not to sound redundant, but another tough group.
Yep. Leo and Miles, obviously, last year's men's gold medalists.
Mm-hmm.
So
they've got great chemistry. They know how to play together.
Yeah. John and Ben Campbell play together all the time, too.
Mm-hmm.
Great team. Don John, big shout out. Lou and Mike, father-son team. Hi, guys.
Make us proud.
Yeah, make us proud. And I wouldn't, Drew and Chris probably want this as bad, if not more than anyone else.
Yeah,
I would guess.
this is a team that they'll wear it like a badge of honor to get out of their group and advance to the double elim bracket, and they will.
Don't sleep on it.
And they'll fight, and they'll chip away, and they'll probably be an annoying out for most. Group F. Group F. We're starting with Courtney and Vanessa from Chicago. This group has 6 teams, so the next team is Libby and Lilia from Chicago. There was one extra Chicago team in the pod, so that's how that worked out. Don and Doug from Michigan. Dave Silvani and Fran of previously mentioned Fran's team, which is a Wisconsin-Michigan hybrid team.
Hi, Fran.
Alan Knox and Christopher Caligieri. That's a California-Washington team. And then Pat Pezin and Anthony the Terminator Terminesi from Ontario.
Guess what I'm about to say.
That this is a easy pushover group.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No, another good team. We have some strong Chicago representation here. Courtney, USBF women's record holding shooter, precision shooter. Vanessa, in her own right, has been always in the conversation.
Reigning ABC Open champion.
Yeah, reigning ABC Open champion. Libby and Lily are going to have, I think, another chip on their shoulder and something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they will.
Lily has been playing fantastic all year.
Yeah, and Libby wants it too.
Yep.
All she does is bother me with Bachi. You don't bother me.
Bother him in the most endearing of ways,
Yeah.
Libby.
Dave and Fran, all excellent players. Alan, and then, of course, Pat Pezin.
Yeah, Pat Pezin, one of the best players
Ever.
Looking forward to watching Pat play. I watched a lot of his games in the Toronto PRV singles, and he's for me, I just really enjoy watching him play.
Yeah,
I'm a fan, Pat.
And a good commentator.
Yeah, great
He
commentator.
almost took my job from me.
Yeah. Okay. Group G. Name you might recognize out of the gate. This guy, Milan, playing with Danny Catullo in the largely underrepresented Ohio region. We've got Steve and John from Michigan, Frank and Frank from Montreal, Nick Emo and Greg De La Croce from St. Louis, and then Brad Thayer and Dr. Joe a little New York, Michigan hybrid team. Milan, you like your chances?
I always like my chances. Another good team, though. We all know what Brad can do. Nick and Greg. Nick's an excellent player. Greg's been crushing it every time he steps on the court. I did like you mentioned, where's our Ohio teams at? We miss you guys.
Yeah. So good for Danny for putting the state on his back.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me jump on with you there, bud. Mm-hmm. But again, just a solid group like every other group.
Yeah, I like Nick a lot. I think he's one of the best players right now in the game. So I like that Nick and Greg team a lot.
Great player, terrible pizza. I'm kidding. No. I think we're going to have our work cut out, and I'm looking forward to it.
And finally, Group H. We start with Maurizio and Anthony Capogreco, who is also Ohio. Jason and Tammy from Michigan. Matt Lippa from Toronto, playing with Lauren McDermott from here in Chicago. We've got Ron Dog and Ezio, a little Ohio, New York mashup, who have played together quite a bit. And then we have Hunter Galero and Natale Scala, a Michigan and New York mashup. This is our last group, and there's quite a bit of firepower here too.
Yeah. Obviously, for me and probably most people, Jose and Jason are the favorites, but to me, Hunter and Natale could also very well be the favorites.
Yes. Obviously, fantastic players. Hunter's home courts. It looks like Hunter's been playing more lately, which I like to see.
He's back, baby.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to catching up with both of those guys. I saw Natale's brother open a cigar club in New York and Rochester. Really? Yeah, so I want to hear about that.
Bring some cigars. Alex,
he's not going to watch. Natale's not going to watch this.
He's going to watch it.
Okay.
Bring things from Malta and cigars from New York, please. And if anyone else wants to give us presents, I'll take them.
All right. Well, you heard it there. We can be bought. The more presents you bring, the more shout-outs you'll get on the pre-tournament shows and during the broadcasts. Before we go, we want to switch gears and talk a little bit about Thursday night, which is when the tournament kicks off. That's Thursday, May 16th. We are beginning the event with a welcome party, a little happy hour, a lot of open practice, which I know players love practice time, and a little symposium. This is an idea that I borrowed from my friend Dino up at Waterside Club in New York, outside of Syracuse. And the idea here is simply, we've got all these great minds together. We've got these passionate players. We've got these ambassadors of the sport. And we're all seeing the sport grow, particularly in America right in front of our eyes. So I want to take advantage of that and be really thoughtful about that and seize an opportunity to have some discussions on the state of the game. So on Thursday night, if you're in this tournament, when you arrive, please set some time aside to sit down with us and chat about some of these topics. When you show up, there'll be a big board with the topics. We're going to discuss organizing and all the different associations and tournament circuits that are happening and how we can kind of unify.
I think we all want the same thing. If we break it down to the core, we all want the sport to grow.
Right.
It deserves its time in the light. A lot of people have played generations upon generations, one of the most popular sports in the world. And we all have ideas. And if we don't keep lines of communication open, it won't grow.
Right.
We need to do things like this and come together and share ideas. And some of them will work and some of them won't. And that's just the nature of the beast of trying to grow a sport.
Right.
But we want to grow it because we want more people to play, because
Yeah.
we want more tournaments, because we want more fun.
And it's going to require some patience. It certainly has already on my side. You can't do everything at once. You have to build a good foundation before you can get to that next level. And we're reaching another level right now. So we want to explore that with all of the players available. I want to hear from, folks like Brad Thayer and Dr. Joe have been around bocce for so many years and have so many experiences through the sport, and I've seen different iterations of the game over the last 20, 30 years. I want to hear from Gunther in Austria. I want to hear from our Montreal contingency, and Montreal has a much more traditional relationship with the sport. Almost specifically rules. Punta Raffavolo. Albert has expressed to me that they haven't reached that younger crowd yet, the way that Toronto has, the way that Chicago has. So let's work together on getting young people involved with the sport in Montreal. All that fun stuff, Milan.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
I always say, because when I have to explain bocce to someone, I'm terrible at it. But if I can get them on a court, they're usually sold.
Right.
Just got to get them there.
Exactly. So, again, Bocce Broadcast Network on YouTube. You're going to want to like and subscribe. If you don't already, please do. And pass this along to your friends and family. They're going to want to watch you play. On Friday, we are going to do our best to diversify the teams that are on the featured BBN court. There's only like 11 time slots on Friday because there's so many courts there. So that means that we'll only cover 22 teams max. There might be an overlap. Ideally, we build out a schedule where it's 2 different teams every hour on the hour. We'll be there the whole time for that. Some combination of Michael, Milan, myself, Jesse.
Probably some guest speakers. We got a lot of great bocce knowledge.
Yeah,
building that weekend. And like I said, please do share and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we do our best to get everyone on there. It doesn't always work that way. It's not intentional.
Yeah,
it's never intentional. We want to showcase you just as much as you want to be showcased. Be patient with us, please.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to this event. We are so grateful again to Annette and Tony Battaglia, Jason Wisniewski. These are the folks that drive Palazzo, and they have taken a chance on partnering with American Bocce. They did back in 2021, and that partnership continues to grow, and that's sort of grown into this BBN partnership too. And then again, Oakland County Commissioner's Office has supported the growth of Lake Orion being one of the premier destinations for competitive bocce in the country. So thank you to Oakland County.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's about all we've got for you here. Anything to send them off with, Milan?
Sorry you lost to me. No, I'm very much looking forward to seeing everyone and bringing you an entire weekend of what I know is going to be excellent bocce.
Oh, we should get Danny in the booth with you too. He's a great commentator.
Catullo?
Yeah.
If we win, he can come.
So that's all day Friday and Saturday. Join us live from Lake Orion, Michigan for the ABC premiere.
I'm Milan Tomic.
I'm Alex Guerra. Like, subscribe, follow.
Watch.
Bye.